Hi everyone. I'm going to teach you how to take the optical rotation using a LabQuest and a Vernier optical polarimeter. So in our spearmint oil lab this week, we had three components that were optically active. We have the limonene, the carvone, and the dihydrocarviol. Unfortunately, we only have 2 out of the 3 samples that we can run what we call neat, which means that we're not going to make a solution out of it. We're going to use it as the pure oil. So we're going to do the carvone today. So we need a few things. We're going to need to have our LabQuest, which is on the right-hand side. We're going to need to have a cylinder that comes with the polarimeter, and it has to be filled in with a blank first of all, which we're going to make water, and then another cylinder, and it's going to be filled with carvone, and then we have to have our polarimeter, which is on the left-hand side. So the first thing we're going to do is plug in the cables from the polarimeter to our LabQuest. So there are 2 cables. The first one I labeled dig 1, and that goes into the dig 1 port at the top of the polarimeter. And the second one we have is labeled as channel 1, goes into the side, into the channel 1 slot. And you can see that the LabQuest face changes. And so the screen now will say illumination and angle. So one of the things we need to do is we're going to switch over to the plot so we can see what's going on. So we're going to choose that plot. And so we should see run 1 in the corner, and it'll have a little file cabinet. And then we should see a blank screen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our sample into the polarimeter. So the first thing is going to be water. So we're going to put water, and we're going to snap the water in like that. And then we're going to use the top of our polarimeter right here, and we're going to gently put our finger in, and then we're going to start to spin it, and it will get the optical rotation of the water sample. So we're going to hit the start button, and now we can see traced on the screen is the optical rotation for the water. Now it'll automatically turn off in 15 seconds, but if you want to stop before then, you can. And you should be able to see on the screen what the trace is for the optical rotation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect the optical rotation for both of the samples first, and then I'm going to go and process the data. So we're going to choose the little file cabinet on the right hand side, and that will save run 1. And now it'll say run 2 next to it. And now we're ready to switch it out and put our carvone in. So we're going to hit the little green button at the bottom of the screen, and then gently turn the top of the polarimeter. And about 15 seconds later, it'll turn itself off. And then we're going to choose the file cabinet again. So I need to go back and look at my run number 1. So hit run and choose run 1. And now we will see our run 1 back on our screen again. So we need to highlight the place in the spectra that's shown that will have the maximum absorbance or the illumination on the left, on the y-axis. So I'm going to use my stylus and I'm going to drag a gray box across the point in the curve that's the highest.